you tweet?
I did. I've tweeted everything, and now we're live.
Have you done the twiddles?
I have done the
Have
twiddles.
you twiddled?
I have.
That's a twiddle.
No, stop that. It's weird. It makes me scared on the inside. All right, we'll turn off the webpage because we don't need that up just yet. Brad, if you wanted to join us, you could do. Brad could still join us, couldn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if you want to join us, Brad, you can do, but no pressure if you don't want to. If you've got like, I don't know, creepy Brad things to do. We haven't started the show yet, so that's up to you, buddy. Were you gonna say something, Jason? Were you gonna be like, "Oh, not Brad"? Ugh.
Who?
Gross.
No.
Who? What are you, the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy? Get out of here.
Which we just watched 3 nights ago.
Oh, really? Oh my God. First time?
For my son, yeah.
Oh, did he enjoy? Did he like it? Did he enjoy it? Did he have a good time?
It's his favorite one now.
That's a decent choice. It's one of the I'd say it's probably one of the better ones, or at least one of my favorite ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely a good one.
I like it. I've not set up. Sorry, fellas. No worries, Brad. Thought I should ask just because you jumped in. I was like, oh, if he wanted to join, he could do. Plus, working while listening. That's cool. That's cool. No worries, sir. All right.
We'll have our reunion. We'll have our reunion another time.
Oh, maybe you could have a private session between the two of you.
Lots of tongue. Just so much tongue.
Tongue. Hope everybody in chat's doing well. I hope you're all having a good day or night or wherever you might be in the world. We're going to be starting up the show soon enough. We don't really have like a time period for exactly when the ball's going to get rollering. American tongue.
He said American tongue.
Oh, that's an exclamation mark. I thought that was an L. That makes more sense. It's
No.
like tongue.
Hey, our tongues are in imperial units. So, huh?
Aren't you like the only country that uses the wrong measurements?
We are the only country that uses the wrong measurements. Yes.
Fuck's sake. Why?
Hey, I would be more than happy to change it, but the rest of the fuckers around here, they ain't having it.
It's the same for like weather temperature as well. Aren't you the only people that do Fahrenheit?
I mean, I personally try to do Celsius.
Okay, it just makes more sense. It seems like not everywhere's on fire.
I don't know. I like the idea of 100 feeling hot, whereas when I hear 30, I'm like, 30 can't be that bad, right?
Oh, dude, when
30's bad.
When you live perpetually in like 8 to 10, and you hear 30, like, whoa, calm down. 30's pretty big. 30's a big number.
It's currently 24C in my room because my thermometer is sent to C because I'm cool.
Let me give you this as another example, Jason, right? When you hit 30 and you go to like a 10-year-old, how old is 30? They're like, that's really old. You're basically a corpse. That's what it's like when you're talking about heat as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Fahrenheit for life. Pfft, no. Bad Axel Hedge. Bonk. I wish I had a bonk animation, but I don't.
I mean, I'm even like, I would be fine with us adapting metric and all that. I'll take it one step further.
Oh?
I don't even want like time differences. I just want the same time to be around the whole world. If it's 12 for you, it's 12 for me.
I don't think that could work.
I mean, it could. People just wouldn't like trying to adjust to it. Because 3 in the afternoon might be pitch black out in the middle of night for some people.
Can you imagine, back in my day when it was 3 in the afternoon, it didn't usse to be pitch black. It's like, what? What do you mean?
4 a.m. in the sun, exactly. 4 a.m. in the sun. But remember when we first started recording together, how many times I'd ask you, okay, what time is it where you are now? Like, it took forever to figure out.
See, I don't mind time zones being different because, you know, no one wants to be like, oh, it's time to wake up and it's midnight or something like that. We need to start the day. I think that's kind of weird. What I don't like is, and this is something no one likes, it's like when you have to push back the clocks or push forward the clocks and push back the clock. Yep. No one likes that. It's a useless thing that we don't need to do anymore, and we shouldn't do it.
Well, we didn't. Oh, no, we didn't have to do it in the first place. They tried to tell you had to. You didn't.
We still shouldn't do it. It was stupid. It just makes everybody feel shit. Everybody feels bad when that change happens. The only time it feels better is when you get an extra hour in bed. That's the only time it feels better.
Right.
And the only way that we could fix the system is push the clocks forward an hour all the time. So you get just more and more sleep, and then you never go to work, and you stay in bed all day. It's a perfect system. See, nothing can go wrong.
You're thinking.
I am. I'm a thinking man zombie. What can I tell you?
You are a thinker and a decaying zombie.
I mean, I don't like to shop. Should we start pooing, Jason, me and you, rubbing urine in each other's face and talking about Transformers, you know?
Poop, yep.
Okay, good. Well, do you need to clean yourself?
No, yeah.
Okay, he'll leave it there. That's fine. Okay, yeah. I'll get ready to play us some music, which I don't think will blow out everybody's ears. So let me play the music.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy, and I'm not joined this week by Brad or Mikey, but the return of Jason with his puckered, new-fangled anus. Hello, Jason.
A new one? I didn't know they did that.
Well, I thought they were, like, rebuilding it from the ground up.
I mean, it's seen a lot of wear and tear, for sure.
Yeah.
But, no, I am back. I have one less internal organ inside me now. So, hey, let me tell you, the most effective weight loss ever. If you ever want to lose like three quarters of an ounce or whatever grams, whatever you guys use over there, just have your gallbladder taken out. It's instant weight loss. It's amazing.
Was it thrown directly into the furnace to stop it growing into a new Jason?
Well, they looked at it first. That was an interesting pathology report to read, by the way. Won't get into that. Let's just say it probably hadn't been working for a while.
Oh, no. It was your lazy organ. It was mooching off you.
It seemed like it was, yes. So, yep, everything went smoothly. But yeah, I'm back, and I'm excited to talk about what I'm sure is just thrilling stories yet again this week.
You don't need to be so fucking sarcastic. Jesus.
Although there was a convention, right? We actually have stuff to see and show.
Technically, well, Takara Tomy did hold an exhibition or something. It was some sort of toy show. There could have been. There's not much, like, in quotations, new things that they talked about, but at least Transformer-wise, I don't know about anything else. I didn't see anything else that was fancy, but people were worried about you, and it seems like chat is happy that you're not dead, so that's good.
Thank you, chat, for appreciating my still living.
Yeah, they're sad that you're missing a little bit of you.
I mean, it was living rent free. It was worthless.
Jason, when you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me, or at least the gallbladder.
I mean, to be fair, you're a decaying zombie. Everything falls off you eventually.
It's true. I leave it all on the table.
Literally.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't like to show off, but, you know. But we may as well kick off with some Transformers news, because that's why we're here. Third party, in fact, is where we're going to kick the ball down the tunnel. So, let me start everybody off. We're talking about Toy World Bimblebee movie Shatter. It's going to be a triple changer because that's how it's meant to be. We haven't seen a lot of Shatters and even less ones that have all three forms. But I would say, I think Toy World are the guys generally, or the ladies, who do the movie toys well. And have a triple changer that turns into a heavy muscle car to a weird jet is always going to be really tricky and hard to do. And I think generally they've done a pretty decent job. There's a shot of each of the modes. There's a table shot that has all three modes separately, so you can all kind of look at them together. And then we have the fancy, like, photoshopped shots where you go, oh wow, that's some fucking lighting, dude. Wow. And to be fair, the lighting do look good. Jason, you're a man who's flown in jets before and blown up people across the world in video games, of course. What do you think of these? Do you like Shatter? Actually, were you a movie Bimblebee fan, or were you not a Bimblebee fan? Okay, that's fair. No, I'm kind of the same. I'm kind of met on it. But what did you think of this figure of Shatter?
It's very impressive. Like the robot mode and the car mode are really, really good.
I don't think it could have got much better for them.
I don't think so. The jet mode obviously is a little weaker than the other two because that seems to be where the most sacrifices went. But are you telling me Takara or Hasbro was going to do better than this?
We've seen what Takara and Hasbro do, and they usually, in the past, I think for the Studio series, have done Shatter going into a car or a jet. They don't do the whole triple changer thing. Which for like an official toy company, that's a smart thing to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if they ever get to movie masterpieces, though, I guess they kind of have a template to follow. Not that you could ever get mad at, Hasbro for basing their toy on the model of someone who stole their IP, but they at least have a bar that they could shoot towards in that regard. Also, kudos to whoever does the photos for Toy World because these pictures are very nice.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
Perhaps Takara could learn from this and actually not shoot incredibly shitty photos on their own.
Or Hasbro. I mean,
toys.
Just the shot of the car with the lights on it, because clearly the lights don't light up on this toy. They don't. But the effects that they've added to this photo make it poppin'. This is what Hasbro should be aiming, and Takara should be aiming for their promotional material.
Oh, it should be this, but 10 times more because
it's official.
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's fair.
But even like just the close-up picture of Shatter herself, like with the black background and everything and the lighting, that's really well done.
I would agree.
Yeah, so I don't see why they need to. I think Hasbro and Takara need to put a little more effort into it. But yeah, I mean, for what it is, they did it effectively. Now, the transformation, that'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'll be looking forward to. I could see Jobby looking at this one eventually. And after his reaction to the transformation for Masterpiece RC, I'm
he loved it.
Sure that he could have. Oh yeah,
he loved it.
I love that.
Yeah.
God, that toy has always looked so bad, and I remember everyone's so excited. Oh, we're getting RC. I'm like, yeah, but her boobs are at her stomach.
Like, it's been a few years since the movie came out. Time. Gravity. It's a thing, man. Come on.
And that's the thing. And that's the other thing I don't get. Like. And I didn't really notice this until Jobby pointed out in his review. Like they gave her such a bigger chest than she should have had.
Yeah.
So were they really going for like the horny, I want a transforming girl toy people by accentuating that?
I don't know because I don't think they did a good job doing it because we've seen third-party companies do it much, much better and also much worse. And gross. Yeah,
but I think they really could have actually made it more, toy accurate, smoothed out her chest a little more. It probably would have looked 10 times better.
Well, I mean, Ocular Max was clearly the at least in my opinion, from what I've seen of, in quotations, masterpiece, if you want animation accuracy kind of RC figures. The Ocular Max RC, which is the one he mentioned in the video as well, that's the one you go for. It just looks better. It's not 100% accurate, but it's like, it seems like it's got a solid transformation. It's got good plastic because it's Ocular Max, so they're good. And it seems like it's just an overall good figure in both modes. So it's like, go for that.
Yeah, and they also did like a stealth version of it for a convention exclusive, I think, that looked really freaking good.
That's the one Mikey really wanted with the orange face, the crazy orange face.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I have Nicey. Nicey, I think, is a much better toy than Masterpiece RC. I think most people would agree, hopefully. But hey, as far as female Transformers go, I think Shatter might be our best one right now.
I think you might be right.
At least a Masterpiece scale.
Yeah, I would agree. Oh, I would also agree that out of the modes to sacrifice, the Jet clearly is the one they've had trouble with, and I guess it's probably the one you have to sacrifice because it's probably the hardest one to do. It's like with G1 Octane, right? You had the G1 Octane robot mode, you had the oil tanker mode, which was for the time, let's say for the time, it was okay, and then you had the Jumbo Jet mode where you went, okay.
Yeah, pretty much exactly.
With a triple changer, I think you always have to expect there's gonna if they're going for realism, like real cars and real vehicles, you always have to expect there's going to be one mode that's a bit of a sacrifice. When I say that, I mean if like a transformer turns into a future jet or a future car or a future thing, a future object, it doesn't really have to go to a particular shape, so they can kind of fudge around as long as it's not trying to emulate something. If it's just their own creation, whatever, do what you like. Yeah, but with these vehicles, it's like, yeah, good luck with that. Good luck. Yeah. I think it's fair to assume that Toy World at some point are going to be doing drop kick. Yeah, Shadow and drop kick. So if you like this one, if this one comes out and is successful and people say, hey, drop kick wasn't Shadow wasn't shit, drop kick's probably going to be good as well. This might be the best way to get these two figures, at least at current time. It could all change in like maybe not even a year, with there's like 5 more of these guys or something.
I mean, I think even if this isn't super successful, we'll still have a drop kick, because I'm gonna assume they are working at both of them in tandem, just because.
Yeah, I think that's
weird
fair
to do one and not the other.
Yeah, I would agree. Oh, do you think they're gonna do like a third party? Like someone's gonna do a third party kit to give her boobs, like really big boobs,
squeezy ones too, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd hate that.
It would be terrible.
I'd hate that. Jason, do you want to move us on to Predacons? Predacon time. More Predacons.
After that, yes, please. Let's move it on. So, continuing our look into the Kang Toys line of combiners, we have great prototypes of their new CY Mini 01 Firmament. Why Mini? Aren't these are Masterpiece scaled, right? Why are they? Oh, Legend scale. Never mind. It's Legend scale. I missed something when I was reading. So they have their Masterpiece Predacons, but apparently, I didn't know this, they're actually working on Legend scales of them as well. This is their take on G1 Tantrum. It brings an updated design. Like their other ones, it's definitely stylized, but you can clearly tell, oh, it's the bull from Transformers. So, of course, it's a Tantrum. And it looks like we have stuff showing the robot and beast modes, and they're also comparing it to their Masterpiece scale ones. So actually, this is a really nice, if you're just listening to the show, maybe check this out on TFW 2005, because it's pretty cool to see comparisons versus what they're doing with their full size versus the Legends class. For its tiny size, I'm seeing a lot of what looks like pretty good posability, especially with the head and like the animal or the beast mode, because you don't see that a lot of times. But yeah, this actually looks really cool, especially when compared to some of the other ones. Andy, what do you think? Tiny bull. Do you need some tiny bull in your life?
That was weirdly phrased, but not particularly. I think it's interesting to do this as a company. Like, it's not a knockoff, as far as I'm aware of their big. Well, it's not a knockoff company doing a downscaled version. It's them doing a downscaled version. So I think that's really interesting, because I don't think we've really ever seen that before. They're definitely taking some of the cues from the bigger one and shrinking it, and changing some joints around, which is nice. I don't know. It's strange. They look interesting. They've always looked interesting, I would say. I'm not sure they're ones I would go for again, even on a smaller scale myself. But I admire the gumption of the company to do something like this. Again, I think it's the first time we'll have Legend scale Predacons. G1 Predacons that can combine. Because usually with combiners, we get Constructicons, we've got the Stunticons. I don't think we have had a lot of the combiner teams over the years in Legend scale, obviously not all of them, and I can't think of a Predacons one off the top of my head. So this is filling a niche of sorts, right? You think of one?
I know which one you're talking about, but I can't remember. Yeah, it's too long ago.
Yeah. I don't think they've ever done a Legend scale one, so it's neat, it's interesting. But if you don't like the style, if you've never liked the style of the Masterpiece scaled ones, just making it smaller probably isn't for you. But this could get people in who were kind of interested in these, but they were like, I don't want to spend. I don't know. I can't remember how much they were on their own. I think they're probably like $100 each or something like that.
Oh,
Masterpiece scale.
Sure,
yeah. So reasonably assuming maybe these ones are about 40 to 60, maybe. We don't know. We don't have prices, so I'm guessing. So a big reduction in the cost might make people want to at least try the company out. So that's cool as well from a business aspect.
Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna get a Predacon or a Predaking, this would be the one I'd go for. So.
Okay. I'm still looking for more people to do the Breast Force, and the closest we've got is Iron Factory, who still haven't really announced anything on theirs for a long time now at this point. But maybe in the future we'll see some more, and we'll see more of these guys. Land Mini, what a name!
I mean, it works.
Yeah,
I guess.
I can't remember what the bird was called. What was Dive Bomb called? Was he Air Mini? Small Burb?
Wait.
It might not say.
Wait, no, they say it's the same Legend Scale Jive. The article's wrong because it calls the Bull and Dive Bomb both Firmament. So I don't know.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's. Wait, let me click on the link. Maybe it'll. It's CY Mini 01 Firmament on Dive Bomb and CY Mini 01 Firmament on Tantrum. So one of those is probably incorrect.
Maybe that's just the name of the set.
I guess, but
I don't know.
Yeah, but the numbers are the same. You can't even differentiate which one is which.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, here we go. And under the images they have it. It's CY Mini 02 Land Mini.
Okay, yeah. Land Mini, because he's a little bull.
Correct your article, TFW. Come on, let's go.
Ooh, damn. All right. Should I move us on, Jason?
Aye, Captain.
All right. Next up, we have the Takara Legacy Speedia 500 manga. We've got part 2 finally online. Part 1 was online as well, but I mean, we could talk about the translated version if you want. If you want us to talk about the translated version, we can do, chat. Let us know. But for the part 2, it's just a follow-up. We've got Miko. It looks like Miko for Transformers Prime in the redo of Red Alert or Sideswipe. We get more images of the Scourge with better colors as well. And most important of all is on screen you'll be able to see I'm hovering over one of the panels where it has Cosmos and a load of things. Why is this panel important, Jason? Do you know why? Did you see the memes of this?
I have not, actually.
Do you want to play Spot Who's in the Crowd? Or should I tell you who's in the crowd?
Oh, Lord, I don't even think I can get it big enough to really tell.
That's what she said. So we have the Nightbird with her little umbrella and her O face from the Legends comics. She's there. Can I get this image bigger myself? Maybe. Let's give it a try. Because I saw a lot of these online, and I was like, wow, they actually put those things in. I'm shocked.
Oh, I got it bigger now. Okay, let's see.
That's what she said. There we go. There we go. So we got Swerve as well from IDW. We got the therapist from IDW, who I can't remember the name off the top of my head. There is Tailgate. There is the Venom, the Wasbinator repaint. Chat, who's this green one underneath Devastator's legs? I don't recognize this one here. Oh, you can't see it. I don't have it on screen. There it is. There you go. This guy here. Who's this one, chat? Because I don't recognize that one. We'll get Chad to do the heavy lifting. Road Rocket's there. We also have over on the left side of the image, we have Ruination of the Ruination team. Laser Optimus Prime is there. Bulkhead, the Legacy Bulkhead is there. Legacy Blitzwing, RC and Chromia, but they're in Bunny Girl swimsuits for the lads. Yep. We have the Legacy Stunticons, so at least 4 of them. Breakdown is not there because he wasn't done just yet. Chromia is there, and RC is there. Again, Legends version. We have got, what's his name? Quick Switch from that box set from ages ago as well. He's there. Lots of little cameos. Also, Skullgrin. He's just kind of chilling at the top with Kickback and Armada Starscream. So again, Sakamoto squeezing the lads in, as ever, and the ladies. It's Defense Hotshot. Is that the green one? Brad? I think Brad said Defense Hotshot. Oh, no, he means this guy here. Defense Hotshot's right there. I thought he meant this little green boy by Devastator's legs. I was like, what? This guy. Who's this? Come on, chat. Who's this one? Looks like a G1 animation error where the Constructicons is standing right next to a Devastator. I don't think.
I mean, that could be it. That could be
know
it, because I do remember that.
with Sakamoto, it'll be related to someone. That's Green Bob McDoogie, my favorite. I love Green Bob McDoogie. I like McDougal more, but he's good. And then the final page is just a big spread of just, I guess, the next wave for what Japan's getting, which is Cosmos, Scourge, Override, and Clamp Down. And there's going to obviously be another stage as well. Next stage for them will probably be like the G2 Stunticons and the Crasher and whoever comes out as well after that. But again, I really like these comics. These set up what the idea of the Velocitron set were well before the American Hasbro series did. So yeah. I'm all right with that. And little Miko as well from Transformers Prime, if that's who she's meant to be. Which it must be. Look at that hair.
It is, yeah.
She's less obnoxious than she was in the show as well. But Jason, the comic. What do you think of the comic? Do you like this little packing little thingamadood? Do you like the little nods and whatnot to everything?
It's Sakamoto, so therefore it is perfect.
Oh, wow.
I also really like the panel where Scourge's tractor trailer kind of pops up and starts shooting for itself.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really John, and also it's very dynamic too. So I think the motion of this whole thing is really good. I really, dude just can draw really well. I know we gushed about the first one when we saw it too, and it's just so good to see him. Anytime he draws anything in Transformers, I love it.
Yeah, I'd agree. I look forward to seeing more of these in the future. I guess part 3 will be coming in, a month, 2 months, 3 months time? Probably like 2 months. I would guess another part will be coming out. But yeah, rock and roll. Jason, what's the next story?
The next story is the Takara Tomy Hobby Expo Roundup.
Woo!
And let's see. So in this, we get our first look at Legacy Breakdown, HasLab Victory Saver, some Masterpiece. I believe one of the Masterpiece trains was in here, something like that. And more. So let's see. So we had some toys on display. Of course, this is for the Japanese market. So Legacy Breakdown was on display. He was kind of surprised, or saying here, and he was in his leg form for Menasor. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's plenty of images of him. There is, of course, the HasLab Victory Star Saber, which is there too, with two Micromasters, Hori and Fire. And there's a nice gallery of them as well. And let's see. So here's what we have. Everything that was there. We have the Transformers X Cannon Optimus Prime. So that's the camera that turns into Optimus Prime.
Oh,
we have
God,
the
that
Masterpiece.
thing.
Yeah. We have the Masterpiece Beast Wars Dark Amber Leo Prime, which is probably what I actually think that Dark Beast Wars Optimus Prime looks, or
Log Convoy?
Leo Prime looks really good.
Yeah.
We have MP56 Trailbreaker. It's an MP. The upcoming waves for the Takara market in Legacy. Some more Legacy Velocitron stuff. There is pictures of Legacy Cybertron Metroplex. Well, I think people already have him. Some people already have him already.
Oh, no, yeah, they should do, yeah. I don't think it's came out in Japan yet, though.
Yes. And then we have Masterpiece, or MPM, so Movie Masterpiece Blackout, and Movie Masterpiece Revenge of the Fallen Starscream, so tatted up Starscream, and some more Studio Series figures coming out in Japan, like Ironhide's in there, and the core figures of Ratchet and a few others. So yeah, but of course, I think what everyone cares about the most is what Breakdown looks like, even though he's literally just a part of a leg right now. So
I mean, I don't know if you saw the gallery, but they went into town taking as many images of this Breakdown figure as they possibly could. Every conceivable angle you could take a picture of the back of a robot's leg, they tried to get it.
Yep, top-down images. I mean, people are just excited because this finishes Devastator, right? Or Menasor, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because it's not like he was that special of a character or anything like that.
Poor Breakdown.
I mean, hey, he is who he is. Yeah, so again, predominantly a lot of the pictures are of Menasor / Breakdown. I'm not gonna lie though, or Menasor looks really, although they have him listed as Moto. Well, I guess Moto Master's right beside him in the pictures, but that Menasor does look really, especially compared to the Combiner Wars one.
It's what you want, I would say, generally speaking. It's how you'd like him to be.
Yep, good cartoon model there based on what they can do. Victory Saber looks pretty good as well. Yeah, and then the MPMs and Masterpiece, Trailbreaker and all that. So Andy, anything jumping out at you over this? Oh, you definitely want that camera, right? You want that camera Prime. That's what you want. You want that camera sauce.
Well, I do really want a new camera, but I don't really want a Transformers Prime one. I can't even see it on the images. I'm sure it's somewhere here. It's probably got like one image of it. Believe me,
like
Chad, there's
two,
image.
I think. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, woo. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm good. I think the interesting point, or an interesting point, is to bring up is it seems a breakdown will be a retool of the Wild Rider, which is a first because obviously Dragstrip is not as far as I'm aware. If he is similar to Dead End, he's an incredibly heavy retool. Maybe they transform in a similar fashion to a point. But these two are a lot more like you can look at them and you go, oh, obviously they have a lot more similarities than the other two. Not that that's a bad thing, but it is something to note. It means that Breakdown will have a bit of a backpack. So if you didn't like the backpack on Wild Ride, if you thought that was kind of egregious, it's going to be the same case on Wild Ride. Dead End Breakdown. Ugh, I knew I'd get there. It'll be the same on Breakdown as well. It'll probably even show, like, in the instructions, a really bad way to transform the backpack, and then the one that all the fans actually like, which is, you can press it down and shove it in there. That's the best way to go. Interesting. I'm not sure all the pictures were quite necessary. Hang on. Yeah, Dead End and Dragstrip look like they share the same engineering. Oh, okay. Thank you, Orange. I'd say the difference here is because of the shape of Dead End and the shape of Dragstrip, they don't look the same. I think these two will look a lot more similar. Like you'll be able to put them up against each other and go, oh yeah, they're the same or similar compared to the other two. But overall, it seems like it makes a very nice Menasor, which I'm looking forward to getting at some point. I know Mr. Brad's still very pleased with his Motormaster, and maybe when he goes on sale, I'll be able to get him at some point. That's the hope. That's the dream. I did get a little bit sad that I didn't get the Star Saber. I don't think the Victory the Victory Saber form looks great, but I think the two individual robots, again, on their own, still look fun. So I'm a little bit sad I didn't get them, to be honest. And in terms of the rest of the stuff, the camera, no, I'm good. The redo of Masterpiece Lio Convoy into the Black Lio Convoy, I mean, I don't know why there are mostly back shots of it, but fair enough. They do show for the Japanese market the rest of the lineup for Crankcase and more of the unfortunate Skullgrin, and the Dead End, and the Point Blanca, and Peacemaker, and all that jazz. So it's fine, yeah, it's not too bad. And then, I suppose it's worth mentioning as well that Raiden was also shown at the convention. The MP Raiden, at least all combined, all the LOL Train boys combined. I think this is the first time we've seen prototype images or any kind of images that aren't silhouetted of what Raiden's going to look like. They underlit it, so there's like this ominous glow coming up from beneath him, making him look really fucking sinister and a little evil. But how do you think he's turned out, Jason? Do you think combining all 6 of these trains has turned into something successful or something mediocre?
So I don't think you light your stuff like this if you want people to get a good close look at it.
I'd say for photos, yes. I think in display, it would look very neat. I think people just taking general photos of it, you go, oh, that doesn't come across too well. I think if you're there live, I don't think it's as much of an issue.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe just some parts of it need a little more refinement that they were trying to... Because, I mean, I feel like Raiden's going to be such a big thing especially for the Japanese market, that they would want to really display him as best they can. So it's just a weird thing to do to underlight it like this. Especially, it's not like the figures around him, there's nothing underneath, so the light can come through and you actually can see them more clearly.
That's true.
But he's just on that black stand, so there isn't light coming directly up under him. I I don't know. It's weird. I don't see anything. Actually, no. Never mind. If you look at the picture of his like left shoulder, the close up, there's a lot of glue on that. So they might have been hiding the fact he doesn't quite fit together well, right?
Well, I mean, he's a prototype, so he's probably literally falling apart just because prototypes are not like super secure. Yeah, I can see the big lump of glue on screen at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's not like this should be a perfect toy yet or anything, but this is made up of figures that are pretty around him that are pretty well done. So it's just interesting that his full figure, they seem to be trying to obscure a few things. I mean, it looks fine. I obviously don't have any really major attachment to the character or anything, so.
I imagine the damage happened probably in transit with this figure. I think prototypes generally can break just being brought to conventions. I remember years and years ago when Vangelis was handling a third-party Predaking. I don't ask me which one it was, because I think it was probably one of the... Was it Feral Rex? It might have been Feral Rex. And I think he said that it was a little bit on the fragile side. I think he said it was a very foley-aparty, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But what do you think of how it just looks, how he's came together? Because I think he's a little... I'm trying to find a full shot of him. A little bit thick, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He's a little bit dense, and I think he's not going to be very fun to just handle with your hands. Like the chest plate is very flat. He's got a lot of train on his ass as well. I think it's an interesting attempt, but I would imagine, like, if you want a really good one, I hate to say it, a third-party one might be better in the future for Raiden.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a given. Yeah, he is bulky. There's no two ways about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a butt too. Holy cow! Ooh, those hips.
Yeah, I told you he's got trains just hanging off of his ass.
He really does. But he's also, I don't know. It actually, unlike a lot of the other combiners we deal with, his legs are like his upper thighs aren't way skinnier than his shins or anything. So I think as far as like the overall size of him, I think his aesthetic actually works really well. But yeah, you're going to be dealing with a lot of gribbly bits there on him, all kinds of kibble and stuff for sure.
Yeah, but
overall, like if it was just the base robot without anything on the back, it would look really, really good. But yeah, for right now, he's going to be a chunky boy if you want to display him anywhere.
He'll pop a lot more as well once we've got the colors on him. We've seen the rest of the train bots obviously look a lot better because they're colored, and this will have a lot more pop to him when he has a bright orange leg and a green leg and a white arm, or whichever way the colors go around. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah,
we can see him. That'll help too.
That's the thing. The question is, how well will each of these be as individual figures, and how easy will they come together as a combined robot? Because again, like as Jobby's mentioned in a few of his videos, he feels, I think it's fair to say that generally it seems like the Masterpiece lines dropped the ball a little bit over the past few years. And it would be sad to see if that's carried over to Raiden as well. It might not be, but something to be maybe aware of, I guess. Or if you're just all in, if you don't care and you just want Raiden because it's the official Raiden, whatever, just go for it, obviously.
Yeah, when you get your first like major combiner release in Masterpiece, it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, because that's another thing, isn't it? This is the first Masterpiece combiner, official Masterpiece combiner. I wonder how much this will carry forward. Like, will the failure of if this is a failure, I'm not saying it will. If this fails, will this stub the toe of any future combiners, or will they just go ahead and do them anyway? I wonder.
I mean, no, if it fails miserably, they won't keep doing it, I'm sure. Although I would imagine if they're going down that route, they might have they probably have one more already which would probably be Devastator if they're going to do anything else. But yeah, if this doesn't do well, especially, Trains, Japan, it should do really well.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then maybe they finish Devastator. Maybe they put it on a shelf like they did with Armada Optimus Prime. Rest in peace. But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right. What's next, Mr. Jason?
I'd like to go take a nap. If that's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I can do the show if you want.
All right, have fun. All right, we have the Agora Models G1 Optimus Prime die-cast metal model kit. Images, that is. I get the model kit topic. How appropriate. So this is a 600-part, fully posable, die-cast metal model. It has lights, sounds, voice effects. It stands 31 inches tall.
Damn,
That's
son.
over 2 feet, almost 3 feet. Or, whatever meters you guys talk about. I don't know. 7.8 meters, I'm guessing, because it's 78. No, that's not right. I don't know you guys. And it has a weight of 11 kilos, which I think is roughly
It's pretty heavy.
like almost 6 pounds, something like that, which is pretty heavy.
Yeah, don't throw this at your son,
base.
Jason.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. It depends.
He's got to learn.
Yeah, you got to learn somehow. There's a display page you can buy separately to have the ultimate display in your collection, as Black Convoy states in the article. Yeah. It's ambitious. I agree with that. Oh, it's going to be. Oh no.
What?
Andy.
What?
They're doing the thing.
What thing?
It will be delivered in parts according to 3 different payment plans, spreading the cost over 9 months.
Oh, it's like a comic subscription. It's like those things that you get like a sheet of metal for, and this really crappy magazine that you never wanted.
Or it's like the Enterprise D that Eagle Moss went out of business, and now no one knows if they'll ever be able to finish.
Oh yeah, that was a thing as well, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh no. What could go wrong? Well, to be fair, it is like massive and it's super heavy. So, can you imagine like shipping 11 kilograms worth of like robot? That's pretty heavy.
I can't. No.
No.
I mean, I'll be honest. It looks really good. I like it. I like the style.
It is stylized as well, isn't it, for an Optimus Prime?
Yeah. A little bit, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a more slimmer take on G1, as I would say, like we got with like the attack version of the Flame Toys G1 Optimus Prime.
Yeah, well, I was going to say some parts are slimmer, like he's got a slimmer waist, but then he's got really big shoulders and really big thighs, and then he's got wheels on his hips as well.
Uh-huh.
They don't lie.
They don't, no.
And incredibly large smokestacks, like your child will die if it just looks at these smokestacks kind of deal.
He just kind of nods to his shoulders. He's like, ladies.
Exactly.
So it looks great. I am kind of curious what a die-cast metal model's like to put together, because I imagine fitment and tolerances are very important when you're dealing with die-cast. And yeah, I want nothing to do with buying it over up to 2 years. Yeah, 3 different payment plans to spread the cost in 9 months, 1 year, or 2 years. And the first pack will ship in January/February 2023. I don't know. My advice would be I just don't see it as a good idea, especially after what just happened with the Enterprise. I think Ghostbusters Ecto 1 was also not quite done, because I know people were getting that as well from Eagle Moss.
Oh, really?
And I think I don't know if I can recommend anyone go that route. If you can't, I don't know. If you can't do it, I assume that if Eagle Moss going, feet up had happened earlier, they would have given up on this idea of doing it this way. But I have a feeling, because that only happened a few months ago, so I have a feeling they don't really have a choice in what they're doing right now. Because I don't think people are going to trust it with that happening. It's a different company, obviously, but I'm not. 2 years? Yeah. Hell no. Absolutely not.
Especially with like a Transformers fan collector mentality of like, I want this figure. I don't want just like, it's not like building like a combiner, right? Where you get a full toy and the rest of the toys are coming out because they're already made. This is just like, you want a part of your kit. It's an interesting way to do it, but I don't think it's a great idea, right? Right. I wouldn't say that. Like, if you want to jump on board and do this, okay, cool. But I see it as a little bit risky because, like you say, this could be cancelled at any point, I guess, over that delivery period. But if you did want one, it does look kind of neat, you know. The Matrix opens up. He's got a Matrix, so that's cool.
Yeah, it looks. I'm on their website trying to look at I'm very confused because they have the display edition where you get the first 3 packs in the base for 400 pounds.
So how much do you get with the first 3 packs? What does it say? What that lets you build?
Not from what I'm seeing, no.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming that's not everything because it says first 3 packs. That would be weird for them to say first 3. If you got the whole thing in the base for $400, that wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't do it because that's too much money for me. But that I wouldn't be upset by that at all. Like, especially if it's high quality, it's die cast, so it's not going to be cheap for sure.
Well, the fact that it says the first 3, that means there's definitely more to come. Yeah.
Followed by 9 monthly packs.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, $60. So 400 up front, or 400 pounds up front, then 60 for the next 9 months.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's an expensive boy.
I mean, again, he is big, and heavy, but yeah. Like you said, having a die-cast model kit is... The idea of it is interesting. How the tolerances are going to do, very, very, very important. Very important. Because you get some model kits, and some people's are great, and yours, for some reason, just because it's, I guess... of the way it went into the injection mold. Now, granted, injection molding and I'm sure making model kit kind of stuff like that isn't exactly the same. Imagine yours just has like a really bad hip joint or something like that.
Right.
Not like anybody else's, just yours has a bad one. That could be really sad.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately if they would have cut this like in half by, cut the size in half and maybe do it for like half of this cost or even a little less than that. I mean, I'd love to have this in plastic. I think this would be a really nice model to put together, but yeah.
Plastic's for babies, though. You're not a baby, are you?
I mean, yes, I have so many model kits to put together. What are you talking about?
Look at the baby with the Goo Goo Gaga dummy. Oh, why don't you build yourself a model kit dummy, baby? Oh, Goo Goo Gaga. Need your plastic nappy changed.
I feel attacked. I'm defeated. Take us. I'm more defeated by this than what you just said, but still, take us on, Andy. What's next?
I will mention that Orange mentioned at the Expo, Optimus Prime isn't cancelled yet. Apparently, it's still in development after 5,000 years. Another thing the Hasbro rep said at the convention. So it's still in development.
That's good news. Also, still in development just means it never left development, so they probably haven't touched it.
It's in the back of a warehouse somewhere gathering dust.
Right, yeah, pretty much exactly. But hey, if it means it's not abandoned, I am okay with that because obviously people are still asking about it. It's been 5 years or something at this point. How long ago?
Yeah.
Since we saw the dang thing.
5's a good guess, if not more, to be honest, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But hey, at least the next topic isn't about something that we've already seen before too.
No, this is...
wait.
This is something where me and Brad have to make a correction. We showed an image last week, which is what we thought was going to be the Velocitron hot rod. It was not. We have a quote unquote toy accurate version where he's more the brownie maroon of the toy than the bright red of other versions of the toy. So. It's not much of a difference. He seems to still come with all the same accessories and all that jazz, but he's in a much more dark red than he was before. We created the illusion. We did, Brad. We did create the illusion. I think this one looks a little bit more interesting visually than the one that we talked about last week. And this one doesn't have all of the egregious toy stickers plastered all over it. So that's a good thing. I can link you the quote over at TF. No, it's okay, Orange. Thank you. We believe you. We believe you. What do you think of this, though, Jason? Do you like the Velocitron Hot Rod? Do you think it's better? Do you like it more than the Studio Series Lavender? Well, not Lavender, but whatever that version that one was, or colored that one was.
Yeah, it's not quite the lavender, but
no.
I mean, this is more Optimus Prime's colors. I think.
This is kind of this is the standard toy version that I kind of used to seeing on them, like through over the years, through like the Chug period and that kind of idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get another. I already have them. I have the color I like is the color I have is fine. I don't need the toy based ones from the first release of them and everything. But it's fine. It's Studio Series Hot Rod again.
All right, okay. But I guess at a higher price point, right? Because I think the Velocitrons are more expensive than Studio Series. Is that right? Or are they the same price?
I mean, it's been over a year since that Hot Rod came out, so I think there's been some price adjustments there too.
Well, it's probably not even on the shelves anymore, but I see what you're saying.
No, it hasn't been on the shelves for a while. I found like one. I saw it like once or twice, and I bought it the first time I saw it, so that was it.
Oh, done. All right. Brad says more expensive, so you will be paying more for this than you would do for the Studio Series when it originally came out. Only because of inflation. Okay, fair enough. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So it is more. The last story we have tonight, because I didn't see anything else, is the TFCon Chicago, which Jason's obviously going to. We have an exclusive MB06/1111 or 11E Delta God or God Delta. It's God Delta. So this is a redo of one of their previous figures, which was the. Hang on. Each piece will be individually laser engraved on each figure, MB-06E and MB-11E. So these will be super special engraved figures. They're going to be at the Chicago toy thing on October 21st to the 23rd, $335. And it is a redo of their Optimus Prime God Jinrai guy. Just he's in blue this time. Yeah. Yep. And he comes with the God Bomber with different recolors and whatnot. Jason, it does technically have a new head, which is kind of interesting. It has an Ultra Magnus-y kind of head. What do you think of this, Jason? Do you like it? Because to me, this seems very expensive and totally not for me, is what I would say.
Well, it's because you're getting the God Bomber. You're getting God Bomber and the Prime together.
Yes, and it's a big figure. It is big.
Right. So actually, I think are you saving any? No, I think it's exactly what. No, actually, you are saving money because Power Baser was like $210 for me, and God Bomber was $150. So that would be almost $360. So you're saving $25 to buy them together like that. Which at least they're not charging more for the mold that's already been used. New head, of course. So yeah, this would basically be Delta Magnus, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. I like I said, I'm a big fan of Power Baser. I think that's a chunky toy that has a bit of a backpack, but I don't think it's at all that egregious or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun boy to put together, let me tell you. And that the Prime by itself, I thought actually is a really good stylized version of Optimus as well. Or in this case, Ultra or Delta Magnus, I guess. But yeah, I can't really gush much more about Fans Hobby stuff like this any more than I have. And it looks like their legs are chromed on this one too, which I don't believe they were on the original Power Baser. So that's a nice little upgrade too. The colors and everything, it looks good. I wouldn't have gotten this over Power Baser because I definitely like it better in the Optimus Prime colors. But it's if you want to experience Fans Hobby or a really good version of Power Master Prime, this is definitely your way to do it.
How possible it is when it's all kind of combined together, because it looks very, very chunky.
I mean, it has posability, but yeah, you can't really. Well, I mean, the joints are pretty stiff, or firm. I wouldn't call them stiff because then that kind of connotes, or that kind of connotation kind of feels like they're hard to move. I'd say they're very well ratcheted and everything, but yeah, just his sheer size, it's hard to get him to do too many crazy poses. But it's not like the joints aren't made to support him for his size. They definitely are.
Oh, well, that's good. At least he can do stuff. But yeah, like, I wasn't expecting him to do any kind of crazy high kick poses, anything weird like that. Do you think this makes for a good convention toy, though? Do you think this is a good, like, exclusive? Because I think it might be It might be a little much. I think having like an expensive convention figure and then maybe one that isn't $300-$400 might be good. Like have $100 figure.
I would definitely prefer they have at least something that isn't that much.
Yeah.
Because one of the big things about going to a convention is the dealer tables and wanting to maybe get figures you haven't been able to get yet. So to have so much of your budget taken up by one figure as an exclusive when you get in the door is probably not the way I'd want to do it for sure.
No, I personally wouldn't want to do it either. But hey, it's interesting at the very least. We were asked in chat if we were going to talk about the Dark of the Moon buzzworthy Bumblebee movie Prime. I'll have a quick look for that story, but I looked through most of the stories and didn't see anything that great. Oh, it's this stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it's just the Dark of the Moon toys that seem to be coming out for the Buzzworthy line, and I was like, I don't care. Yeah, there's Ratchet, who's not green, he's black now, and Bone Crusher's not beige now, he's gray. Okay, I don't know what to say for these things apart from that's great. That's Black Ratchet.
Well, and of course we're still trying to figure out just what the heck is actually what buzzworthy Bumblebee is even for. it's
the garbage tip. It's literally the garbage tip. If we have random repaint thingy, put it in here. The good thing was they actually showed off like Dungeons and Dragons toys. Did you see those? There's more to talk about there. If you look at the screen, you can see like Venger and the Dungeon Master, the guy. I can't remember all the guy. The guy with the bow, the Amazon, the stupid pony unicorn thing, Uni. Like there's something interesting to talk about there because these are the first time you'll have postable figures for these guys, and that's nice. More so than Grey Ratchet, right? Did you have any affinity with Dungeons and Dragons, the show? I didn't see a lot on TV, but I saw like 1 or 2 episodes, and I knew the intro, No,
I don't really have any... nah, not really.
No? Optimus Prime was Venger. That was cool.
Well, yeah, but he was also Predator. That's even cooler.
The Predator?
Yeah.
Was he? He was the voice of the Predator?
Yeah, he did the sound effects.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you didn't know that?
No, not off the top of my head. I might have known that years ago, but forgot.
Peter Cullen was, in fact, the voice of the Predator.
Oh, wow. Why does no one get him to do like the Predator voice then at conventions? Why don't they make him click?
Well, that's the thing. I think he has been. He's been doing that's a lot of how people have been finding out recently. But when
I see people at conventions and they're like, do Optimus Prime's voice, no one says, do the Predator click. Do the Predator click.
I'm sure he's done it. I'm sure he has.
He couldn't have done the clicks. Something else like a sound effect thing would have done the clicks. He probably did the.
So it might have actually been at one of the. It might have been at the last TFCon or whatever he was at. But he told a story about how he was on set. He was brought on set, obviously, to do the sound effects.
Was this pre Van Damme or post Van Damme?
I don't know.
Because Van Damme was the Predator at one point.
Yeah, good point. I forgot. Yeah. See, that I'd forgotten about. I don't know if it was pre or post.
He was in the weird Red Lobster suit, and Van Damme was like, "No, fuck that noise. I'm not doing that shit."
Right. But apparently, the director was very upset because he couldn't hear the sound effects, and I think he accused Peter Cullen of, basically getting a paycheck and not doing any work. So the sound guy actually pulled the director aside to give him so he could listen to what Peter Cullen did. And as the story goes, he came over to Cullen and apologized because he's like, "Yes, you did do it, and it sounds fantastic. Thank you very much."
Shut up, bitch. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Voice actor Peter Cullen.
Like, bitch, I'm Optimus Prime. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Well, I think that's all of our news done for this week. So we move on to what have you been up to this week, Mr. Jason? What have you done for fun? You been doing loads of things, bungee jumping?
They tend to frown upon that after surgery.
Wow. Well, that's a bit judgy.
I mean, it is kinda, sorta. Mm-hmm. But no, just been taking it easy the last couple weeks. Thankfully, I think the last time I was on, I said that it was either going to be a nice, simple laparoscopic procedure, or they were going to have to cut half my abdomen open and keep me in the hospital for a day or two.
Oh,
Thankfully,
wow.
I was able to go home the same day. They did have to do one incision a little bit longer, just to make it easier to do a couple things. But I will take that over a huge, a huge incision into my, like right side of my abdomen.
I thought you wanted to have a good time, Jason. What happened to the fun-loving boy that I used to know?
I had a great time. That's what the pain meds were for after the fact. So yeah, I barely feel anything from it now. It's in as far as, because when you lose your gallbladder, there's usually an adjustment period for your diet and stuff. I haven't had that. I've actually been absolutely fine with everything I've eaten. And I think the biggest reason for that is when I was initially sick a few months ago. I think that's when it just stopped working altogether anyway. So my body has already adjusted to the fact that I can't digest fat quite as effectively as I used to. So
you know what the real test will be, and I've got perfect kind of Jason comes back to streaming, right? So you come back to streaming. Your first stream is you take, the let me translate it for you Americans, right? The potato crisp challenge, the really hot one, the one crisp challenge. Chip challenge.
Nope.
Yeah, that's how you test to see if you're doing okay.
No, because no one does okay from that.
What do you mean? They do fine.
No. Eating it is fine. When it comes out, it's hell. Literally.
I've seen I can't remember. I mentioned this to someone. I can't remember who it was. I might have mentioned it on last week's show. I remember seeing people put up photos of kids who've teenagers. We'll say teenagers who are in the hospital holding their stomachs, going eh. It's well, you shouldn't have done it, stupid. Don't eat the crisp. No.
Yeah,
don't
apparently
do it.
Eating it, sure. I'm not a fan of spicy stuff. I probably have trouble eating it, but eating it isn't the worst thing. It's later. Later is when you regret making the decision to do that, from what I've heard.
You go to one of the circles of hell, that's for sure.
Oh, there's a circle all right involved in it. I hear it burns.
It's a ring of fire. It burns, burns, burns. I mean, just having jalapenos the next day, I'm like, ooh, this is warm. Ooh, ooh, okay. It stings.
Ooh, that's I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that. Woo.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
I like spice, but I don't like spice where I can't taste anything but the spice. I like a little kick.
Yeah.
But if my mouth goes numb and I start crying, I'm like, that's not fun. That's not a taste. That's me dying. I don't want that.
Yeah, I absolutely hate that. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So
a little kick is fine though. Yeah, a little kick and oh, that's quite nice.
Sure.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
A little,
It's just when it keeps going. It's you go to 5 and you're like, oh, that's warm, and then they keep turning. And you're like, oh no, nope. Oh, it's 20 now. Okay, here we go. Time to cry.
Yeah, and crying would happen for sure. Yeah, so not a lot exciting been going on.
Not watched anything fun?
Not I mean, we have been. So I think since my surgery, we've watched. We were continuing our MCU watch through with my son. So we watched 2 very good movies. Obviously, Captain America: Winter Soldier, which I really really like, and Guardians of the Galaxy, which is real fun. Phase 2 of the MCU is interesting because you have Iron Man 3, which is a total crap film I absolutely hate. You have Thor: The Dark World, which it's not the best. And then you have 2 really good movies in Captain America and Guardians of the Galaxy. And then you have Age of Ultron, which was not. I don't know. I've only ever seen that one once, so I'm interested to revisit that one. We actually might be watching that one tonight at some point. I don't know.
Oh.
So I'll be interested to revisit that. And I remember enjoying Ant-Man. So I think there's more misses in phase 2 than there are hits, especially compared to phase 1. But phase 3 is basically the next 10 or 12 movies. So there's all kinds of stuff jammed in there as well. But it's, I'm always happy to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a fun one. I think we mentioned before we started recording that's one we both really like. So Yeah, so I've been watching some stuff, but nothing like super crazy. I did download and install Gundam Evolution to play that at some point.
Oh, you playing
That's the,
Overwatch? Okay.
Yeah, it's the free-to-play Overwatch clone. Well, not clone really, but it's got something. But so I do want to take a crack at that at some point. Although I am hearing that they seem to be relying a little bit too much on microtransactions, and there may be some pay-to-win stuff in there, which isn't great to hear.
Are you playing this because Zen from V Shoujo has been playing it a lot?
No, because I like shooters.
Okay, sure.
Pew pew.
Pew 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 shoot shoot. See,
Yeah, so
I've not been tempted by it because I didn't like Overwatch. I don't like those kind of games. I was like, it's a shame because I like Gundam. It's like,
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, it's a shame you're a loser and all, but yeah.
Oh.
You live.
Not me. I
No,
die.
it couldn't be you.
But that's it.
So how
Nothing
about
else
you?
fancy. No TV.
No, have you been up to anything exciting, sir?
No, I've been working as usual. I've been doing thanks to you a little bit of camera hunting on Ebu. And it seems like it's going to be expensive. I'm looking at a Sony A5100. There are better cameras out there.
That's what I got.
Is that the one you're using right now?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, it means nothing to people listening to the show.
Nope.
But it seems like that would be a decent upgrade for me. Prices for used ones on eBay seem to be generally about on the lower end, like 250. Some of the auctions can go for a little bit less, but you know how auctions on YouTube go. The reason is I'd like to get back into doing toy reviews again. This camera seems like it's okay at doing close-up shots and would be good for like doing my style of like panning and kind of that kind of jazz, which I haven't been able to do because my Nikon D5200 was absolute garbage for that and made me never want to do any filming again until I got a new camera. Yeah. This might be a way to get back into doing that stuff, which I'd like to do. Because doing the streaming and stuff I enjoy, but it's apparently not a good way to really grow on YouTube too much. Doing one podcast a week, but just doing the streaming on my YouTube doesn't really grow my YouTube too much. So getting into like toy reviews again might help that out, and it would be fun to do.
Oh yeah,
hopefully. So that's the idea behind it. I just need to save up the money to do it.
As much as YouTube allows for a decent streaming option, especially with higher bit rate and stuff that they allow, it's still a VOD content platform first. And if you can actually do some stuff like some reviews, like especially something your channel was for in the first place, that would probably help get you some traction. Of course, no one wants to hear this suggested, but YouTube seems to really be pushing like their shorts and stuff.
They're aggressively pushing shorts at the moment. They're super pushing it.
Right, but I think you can actually do some pretty creative stuff with shorts and toy reviews. I think that actually you could do some. I know Thu put one up earlier this week, but he made the title "Trying Something New" like it was just a test. I'm like, Thu, you're not going to learn anything if you tell everyone this is a test. you got to get you got to figure out those titles and get those people in, But yeah, I think, just taking snippets of your review or just, hey, what's your next review? Show, do something like that with a toy or something. I don't know. I'm not a pro. But the more you can do like that, I think it's probably going to help your channel for sure.
Tad easier than going through like a 2-hour live stream to get snippets out of that, because that's hard. That takes that's at least a minimum 2 hours work of watching your entire VOD and going, okay, this was the good bit. This was the good bit. This was the good bit. It's like, that's rough. I did that once for the compilation video I did for the Tekken 8 video, which turned into a little 12-hour like mini version of Tekken. That was fun, but man, that took a long time to do. And it wasn't great. It was fine. It did the job.
See, I thought it was great, but here's the thing. I remember you must have sent me like 18 updates from that. It took you a long time to put that together.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of re-edits.
It's very time consuming.
And that was only
the end product I still thought was great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was interesting, but yeah. And then I was going to do it with Elden Ring, but then I saw like every day I was doing an Elden Ring video of 2 hours long, and I was like, fuck, I can't keep doing this, man. It's like, oof, I don't have the time with work and everything. It was rough, man. So yeah, I've done a bit, like I say, I've been doing that. Maybe I'll be able to get the the Sony at least buy it next week. I'm not sure how much money I've got. I'd like to sell my D5200. I don't know who would want to buy it, but I think I could sell it for maybe about 100 if someone would want to buy that for 100 quid with its standard lens. That would help. But again, I don't know who would want to buy. I think that the D5200 is still meant to be good. I just don't think it's good for filming. I think it's more a camera, like for photos and stuff, rather than what I need it for, which is videos and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the reason why there's a lot of A5100s is because that was kind of for people who wanted to do stuff like streaming or like vlogging. It's a really good camera for that. Like you said, like the quick focus and things like that. Obviously, I think it looks good. I mean, sure, it's showing this, so it can only look so good, but audio or image wise, it's great. But a lot of people did it for reasons like that, and then they didn't actually end up streaming much or vlogging much. So there's all so they're all trying to get rid of them and things like that. But they're a good camera. It's got a good reputation, so there's the price there. And then Sony also discontinued it about a year ago, pretty much right after I got mine. They pretty much discontinued it.
But they're still pretty expensive just because of the processor rush, because of like the two things, which was COVID, which messed up production of processors in general, and people wanted to do the Bitcoin mining, right, where everybody was buying 5 or 6 graphics cards and big computers just to mine Bitcoin. So those were the big two drains on things like that, right? And then, like you say, for the COVID, it was people wanting to get into vlogging and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how much that would have affected the A51 just because it had been out for a while. Obviously, I think more it's people desire to have the camera itself is more the reason for the prices, the aftermarket prices now. But thankfully, Ethereum mining is no longer a thing. They moved to something called proof of stake, so there's no more mining for Ethereum. So
that's
now,
good.
Granted, another coin could pop up at some point, so maybe there might be some other mining stuff. But for right now, everything should go with that. Of course, NVIDIA introduced their new graphics cards this week and decided to price them way too high. So that's wonderful. Not buying a new graphics card anytime soon. Sorry, guys. But no, it's a great camera, and I think it was exceeded by the A6700, which is the one people recommend now. But again, that's like $600 or $700. I think it's worth it. It's a great camera, but
I thought the general upgrade from that was to go from to the Sony ZV-E10. I hear people talking about that one, and then maybe the one after that is the one that you're talking about.
Yeah, I know the 6700 is a really good one too, but yeah, I think you might be right on the other one too.
Yeah, because the ZV-10 is like 680 quid on Amazon at the moment, so it's still it's an expensive camera, but I think that's the next one.
Yeah, Sony cameras for vlogging and live streaming, I think, are they're good. They're good. Do you need it for sure? Maybe not. I think for your purposes, an A51 is going to be pretty much perfect, but
hopefully. Yeah, it's always hard to know until you've got it in hand and you get to play around with these things with tech. It's difficult. That's why, I told you on Twitter DMs, I was really disappointed with the Nikon because I got it and I was really, really happy. I thought I was going to be really happy with it. Then I started using it and I got very, very disappointed very quickly with how it just didn't do what I wanted it to. And I went, wow, this was a waste of like, I can't remember how much I spent on it. It was probably like $300 to $500, I guess. And to spend that much money and then go, wow, this is not what I want. It's so disheartening. That I think after that was the reason why I got really antsy. So, when I've asked you to help me build computers and stuff, I'm like, is this really what I want? It's because of that. Because I've been burnt before and lost a load of money. Yeah,
I can't blame you there either. But thankfully, with stuff like computers, I'm not going to like...
No, I know what you need. Shit. Yeah,
I know what you need. I'm not going to... Yeah, because you have I think a 2060, maybe 26 or 2060 Super in your computer, and that's all you need. That's perfectly fine for streaming and playing games. So
until I can get better stuff, but I'm not going to worry about that for a while.
You're not going to buy a new graphics card anytime soon. Let me tell you. Although some of the older generation ones might get pretty cheap here eventually, but we'll see.
So apart from that, I watched episode 11 of Made in Abyss. I think they're on a break at I think I watched episode 11. It was either this week or watched it or the previous week. I watched it at some point. It seems like there's a big gap between episode 11 and 12. But we are ramping up to the end. Everything's going to shit. as it usually does with Made in Abyss. There's lots of things being ripped into horrible tiny pieces. And I'm not sure how the season's going to end. But once again, Made in Abyss is one of those things that if you're not of strong constitution, don't watch it, because you will probably be very sad by it. But I think it's a very good little show. What else did I do? I've got Witch of Mercury to watch. Gundam Witch of Mercury. It's fallen onto my computer, right? I just haven't watched it yet. It was an accident, I swear.
You fell on your dick. Yeah,
exactly. You know how it goes. So I'd like to try and get that. Maybe I watch that tonight. Most of my things seem to be on like a break. Like they haven't had any updates recently, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe there was some kind of holiday in Japan. But in terms of have I bought anything, no. Mainly because it's me waiting for, can I get the camera, and that's what I'm trying to feed the money funds into at the moment. That's the idea. Can I get that done? Yep. Oh, Mikey sent me a podcast, so those of you who are on the Patreon will get a comic episode at some point. He said he was editing it, but then it crashed midway through edit, so he needs to tell me what I need to edit out of it, if anything, and then hopefully I'll be able to get that out this week, and I will get out the Stargate stuff this week as well, because that'll definitely motivate me to do it. And apart from... I saw my buddy Matt this week. That was fun. I got to go out and see a human being. That was fun. Just having lads time. Lads, you know how it goes. Having a good old time there. And that was it. That's my week. Not very crazy or anything like that, but good enough. Good enough, as they say. Now, does chat have any questions they want to ask us about anything in particular? You can do. And while you think of something, chat, to feed us, question-wise, Jason, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
On the internet, I am at Jason S. Kirk on Twitter. And Instagram, I guess.
What about on Twitch?
Sure. Twitch?
Yeah.
You mean that big thing that's on fire right now?
Yeah, when are you gonna stream again?
I don't know. Whenever they find the remains of Twitch through all the ashes, maybe.
We need to do a me and you stream with Among Us.
Yes, that is true. We do need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta set something up at some point for that for sure. Twitch is at Twitch Jason S. Kirk if I ever do stream at some point. But yeah, I will definitely do a co-stream with my friend Andy at some point, because those were fun.
Whoa,
I enjoyed them.
Who's this guy you're talking about? Is it another Andy? I thought I was the only Andy.
No, only the one that's decayed. That's the only one that matters.
Oh, that's okay. That's me.
Yes, you are the one falling apart, correct?
Yay!
What about you? Are you on the internet?
I thought there was more. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch as Decade Andy. Decade is in a rotten corpse rather than a decade. Remember that. Don't make the mistake. You can find us on patreon.com/moonbase2, and if you do $2 each month, you get the comic show with Mikey. You get that week early, and you get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where I'll talk about Stargate Season 3. I promise I'll do that. I have been putting it off again and again and again. That's something I did this week. Because I remembered, I got Neo 2. I got that last week or something like that.
Yeah.
I got that and I've been playing Neo 2. Do you like Neo 1? You will like Neo 2. Have you not played Neo? Neo is like a Dark Souls experience, but not. It's got the hard difficulty of it's very, very punishing. But there's also a looter aspect to it, that you get loads of loot per levels by killing enemies, and you got to decide if you like this style or this style. There are only 12 weapon types in the game, but each of them have expansive move selections to them. So that's an interesting aspect of it as well. It's set during I think it's the warring states of Japan. It's the famous time of Japan with Nobunaga, everybody's favorite time, where Japan's on fire trying to settle aggression against each other. Except the yokai in here, so you get to kill giant monsters. And that's fun and frustrating at the same time. So that's something else I did. Good for me. You can also find me on did I do I did the Patreon stuff. Yeah, I was talking about Stargate. You can find us on the ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to get us there as well. And I think that's all of the... Oh, yeah, no, if you just type in Moonbase 2, you'll probably find us. Now, questions. Exel Hedge says, praise for Aaron from WTF at TFW after a car accident today. Yeah, I saw on Twitter that it seemed like he got ran through at a car stop or something like that, but he tweeted about it and he seems like he's okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like, I mean, he tweeted out a photo of his car basically on its side and says he's going to be in a little bit of, pain, which makes sense. But I assume...
TJ really wants to be the only other guest that week, huh?
Well, it's anything to get out of doing the show, right? Anything. I saw the tweet and I assumed if he's talking about it on Twitter, he's probably okay. If it was really bad, he wouldn't be on Twitter. he'd be not talking about that at all. So I'm glad he's doing well. Brad goes, to either of you play Monkey Island? Not since the first one, the very first one. And I only played it at my friend's house. And I can't remember when the first Monkey Island came out. Probably when I was like 5.
Probably.
It's been a long time since I played Monkey Island. My jam, Brad, I preferred Sam and Max. I was more Sam and Max than I was Monkey Island. That was my kind of jam. Did you ever play those point and click adventures? Indiana Jones was pretty popular back in the day.
When I was younger, yeah, but I
Broken
definitely
Sword.
haven't done anything like it recently.
Yeah. I think the most recent one I did was I played the Grim Fandango remastered on stream. That was fun. The problem was, Grim Fandango, some of the puzzles can be a little bit obtuse, I suppose, where you go, what?
Yeah.
I think that's...
I remember a couple times you went to like click on something and wouldn't do it for like 20 tries, and then finally you walk back over to something's like, oh, now it works.
yeah. Usually you'd have to do one tiny contextual thing to make the thing work, and you're like, oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sam and Max is the bomb. Yeah, I really liked... Did you ever see the cartoon of Sam and Max? Mr. Jason?
No.
The cartoon wasn't too bad. It wasn't as good as the game because it wasn't quite as just bizarre, because it had to be for kids. But the show wasn't too bad. I was shocked it even got a show, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on the next Commander class combiner? Personally, hoping for Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. What would you like to see for a Commander class combiner? Commander guy.
See, that's the thing. Bruticus would be nice, but...
He's a solid, obvious choice, I think, right?
He is. I don't know. Like, I actually don't mind a Fall of Cybertron design for him at all.
And
but
he needs
having a really decent G1 version also would be nice.
With it being Legacy, I don't think it would be Fall of Cybertron. I think it would just be G1 because that's kind of what Legacy goes into.
I know it's the most recent combiner they've done, but I wouldn't mind seeing them go straight to like Abominus or something. Or hey, let's do Monstructor. We never got Monstructor in Power of the Primes or Combiner Wars. Let's go for him.
That's true. Technically, America didn't get a really good Computron. They got kind of a half-assed Computron, which Japan had to fix.
True.
So that'd be nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obvious combiners they could do are Devastator and Bruticus, like you say, and Superion. They're kind of like the three obvious ones. A little less obvious would be Defensor. They don't like Defensor as much generally, I feel. Excuse me, when they're making figures, I guess just because it's rescue vehicles.
Yeah. I think another thing to consider...
Doing the hardcore Japanese combiners, I don't think they do that just because they kind of shunted Star Saber off to a fundraiser. I think they'd probably do that again with any of the big Japanese guys, unfortunately.
The thing to consider with a combiner with a Commander Class one is I think why Motormaster was the template for this is because you had the truck and the trailer, and you could do so much for the engineering of the trailer to make him integral to the actual exoskeleton for the combiner. Outside of Bruticus, I can't think of another one because like Superion, Silverbolt, you can't give him a trailer or anything, so you really would have to engineer everything inside of Silverbolt, which might be a little too constrictive.
Maybe you could make all of the pieces like form another plane.
Maybe.
Or a landing strip, or like a landing base or something like that. Like a hangar.
Yeah, or we would. I honestly think it would either be Bruticus because of that, or Devastator. You just do the 2 torso bots and make them, really good. Make them articulated. Make sure they can move their arms. Combiner Wars.
Yeah.
Maybe do like the first 2 in like a pack is Commander class. But yeah, I think for Commander class, it really has to be something where they can. Actually, Commander class has been almost exclusively. You had Skylinks, you had your chicken, and you had your lion thing to come together.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime. You had Hot Rod, and you had the back of the Winnebago that came together. So it really seems like they're doing 2 things that combine together. And in the case of the combiners, then you can take the second thing and make it part of the combiner.
Well,
so I really
there's
wonder
also
where
Skyfire, who's
next.
just one big dude.
Yeah.
But he's kind of the exception. One big dude, Skyfire.
True. I did forget about him. Yeah. I did forget about him. But yeah, okay. It'd be interesting.
I forgot as well, Exel Hedge brings up a good point that Legacy is apparently giving us the Wolf Cybertron toys, which we talked about last week. I still need to see what they look like. Once we see what they look like, I guess we'll have a better judge of how, they'll work in the Legacy line, because everything else has just been G1 so far. Let's see what they look like before just hammering down and just going, they're definitely gonna honor the original look of the toys. Because I don't know. They said they were giving us Transformers Prime toys, and look how they turned out. They were G1'd, so.
Knockout.
Yeah, that too. Orange goes, I would love a better set for the C-Cons that Takara released. Yeah, definitely. With turret modes for them with legit 5mm handlebars. The other Decepticons demand. That'd be nice. Yeah. Plus, I want a thick snap trap.
Yeah, he'd be a good candidate. I think Orange has a good point.
Mm-hmm. Split Silverbolt's alt mode in half for bot mode and base mode, perhaps. Might make it easier to fit a torso mode. I'm interested to see what they do for their commander class, because we don't know what the next one is, as far as I'm aware. I don't think they've announced that. And they're going to have to... Well, they don't have to announce it soon, because I guess the next commander class would be for next Christmas's release, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It'd be interesting, yeah. There are potentials. I'd still like them to do the Japanese things, but like I say, I just don't think it's unfortunately going to happen. But I think we should probably end the show now, because I don't want to keep Jason too long, because he's got to go and, not be sat down in a chair talking for too long, I'm sure. So thank you, Jason, for coming.
You're welcome, as always.
Yeah, and thank you, everybody, for joining us again. We'll be here next week at the same time, hopefully with a little bit of a healthier Jason, or we'll figure something out. If Jason needs a break, that's okay too. So until then, thanks everybody for coming on by. Hope you have a very good day, good evening, and or a good night. And until next time, we'll see you suckers next time.
Bye.
And that is the end of the show recording. I think we'll end the stream here as well, everybody. So thanks again, guys, for coming by and chatting with us. It was nice to see you all come by and do all your stuff. And hopefully we'll see you next week for more Transformers stuff. Maybe I'll have a new camera by then, and I'll be like, oh, wow, look at all the things I can now do with it. Ooh, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, thanks for coming on by, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.